Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. There we go. Opening up the soda. I think it's my last. Nope. It's my second to last one. I'm gonna have to buy more. All right. I got to continue work on the Arclight Furnace. As you can see, there's a lot that has happened. There's still a lot to do. I can connect it up with the obelisk. Interestingly enough, I found out that in this new setup to connect things, you have to connect it from the base. You cannot connect it from the top, so I'll have to look at that. Resonator got a bit of a makeover. We can go into disconnect mode. Oh, and something else too. When you disconnect it, it like rotates the whole thing. I have no freaking idea why. It just flips the model though, because if you look, the collision box stays the same. Go back into connection mode. Whoops. So that's something we gotta look at. Geez, what would that even be with? I'm wondering if I have to. Good question. Like I really that threw me off. I'm like, what? So let's take a look at it. I don't need magic chalk open anymore. Here we go. Resonator. So something in here when I start the connection for the Arclight Furnace. All right, so we'll do this, right? Going from the obelisk to the furnace. What am I doing? Couple checks. Reset information, damage to the item. Here we go. So I'm running, let's say, this guy right here. I'm making sure that the obelisk has a valid, like if it has a valid connection, then I'm going to run a disconnect on that to clean it up. And I mark it dirty. See, I'm not forcing like a lot of extra stuff here. I'm just marking it dirty. Let me try something. Let's break it. And that looks like that is working with the new stuff. Ooh, placing this down. The model's not shifting. It's all one way. All right. But Vatican, hey, how are you? So I have to fix this. I'm trying to remember how I fixed this before. You know what? It's probably going to be in here. Probably have something going on. Oh, this part. We may have to do a shape by type thing. I wonder if I even need this. Do I even need this right here? Let's reload. Let me see if this gets upset, because that may be an old key. Cool, love the dark, just another day in paradise. Have all the fires put out at the moment. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's funny. Maybe an hour ago now, maybe a little less. Something happened and Teams, everything cut out. It happened like in my home connection too. I'm like, oh shit, I probably have to reboot my modem. Something dumb probably happened. Apparently it affected other people too. So I'm like, oh, was it like a area-wide outage? It was quick. It came back quick, but like some high-powered router somewhere just shit the bed. All right, so I guess this being the case, this definitely is not needed, which means that these are probably not needed as well. So let's clear those out. And what I'm going to do to make sure is we are going to gracefully shut down. Here we go. Despise Microsoft. I hate their updates. It's funny. Mentioned it today in Teams. One of our coworkers is using like the Microsoft Skype for Business thing. You know, and they're like, "Oh, try switching." Like it had it up top, and it's like, really, Teams is telling us to try this other product that they discontinued. Like, really? That's happening? Okay. Good job, Microsoft. This is why memes are made about you. This right here. All right. Oh, did you see that? It like when it broke, it tried to like recorrect itself. So the good news is, yeah, that's not really. Yeah, see, so now it's facing the right way. So there's something going on with the original placed information and the orientation of things. Kind of looking at hitboxes now. Yeah, see the double hitbox there? So this is being placed. So the hitboxes are being placed correctly, right? Got that one. Maybe they're not. So the hitboxes are being placed in a weird order too. So I wonder if there's an issue with the rotation. Oops. Goddamn magic chalk. Oh, resonator. Now you can hit F and you have your connection mode, disconnect mode, and you can view connections. So if I click on oh, there's nothing connected here. Let's make a connection. Oop. There we go. So if you want to see what connection something has, you can click on it. And I spawn particles on it so you can kind of see to some degree. And it plays the particles just for like a little bit. I think it's like 10, 15 seconds. Then it stops. It works the other way too if you do it there. Disconnect all. Boop. Shut it all off. But yeah, the resonator got an upgrade. That being said, let's throw out some other stuff here. Boop. Boop, boop. You know what? Using a lot of the same logic with this, I am wondering if I'm running into a couple issues here. Probably something weird going on. Well, of course there's something weird going on because it's not working. It's indication 1. Sparkles! Wrench to rotate, that's not going to work here. Wrench isn't going to know what this thing is. Yeah, besides, it's just a misalignment right now. It's a misalignment. So right here, I'm trying to shape by type north, south, east, west. I'm positive that this is correct. Okay, you know what? Let's look for anything here. We're not going to do a search. I'm gonna visually just look through this. right? So we have our textures, we have the creating the mesh. I still need to get that working. That's the particles, get drops. Okay, on before render. So what are we doing? We're getting the meshes for the Arclight Furnace mesh references. I'm creating a key for all of those. Okay, so we got the shape location, trying to get the shape, generating the mesh with the shape, and then we are uploading, but it splits into multiple meshes, mesh references, one for each texture. Okay. Wonder if I can, maybe I have to rotate it here. Right, because I can pop in a rotate. Just got home right as the notification went out. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. PT has endorphins flowing, so I'm on a bit of a high right now. Nice. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Watch this. Look at that. I got my full range of motion back. Mild, you know, a little mild pain in there, but I got it, man. Got it. Let's see. So I mean, we could try to rotate here. I'll leave that as a key. We may not have to though. On before render. You know what? We probably do. You know what? We probably do. Just because. So what's happening here? The reason why it's changing is because. Whoops. Let's get into connection mode. When you link those two together, it's now using the new textures here. So on before render, it's kind of creating this. It's not swapping the textures yet, but I'm pretty sure it's trying to, right? It's getting the original shape. See, before I created something that didn't have like positional facing, so I wouldn't have seen this as a problem. You know, it's either in there or when you generate the mesh, right? Because I'm getting the shape's base path. And then I'm putting the atlas on it. And then on tessellation, yeah, see, it could be right here. Rotate shape on the Y. So I'm doing this. Oh, what did I just do this for? Help me out, guys. The Thaumic Foundry, I just did this. So let's take a quick look here. Thaumic Foundry core, I think it was mesh. There, this right here, the mesh angle radiance. Yeah, and I was adding to the Y rotation with that. Let's go back into the furnace. Can I just do a dot? No, I probably can't just do a dot rotate. So mesh output. I was hoping I could just like tab onto it, right? Well, it does have a rotate. So it's that same kind of rotate. There's no specific rotate Y. Let's keep looking, because this isn't all of it. Because there's a place where I have to set what this angle of rotation is. I think it's towards the bottom. You know, I think it's not in the entity. I think this is... You know what? It could be. I think it's saved in the entity. A little further down. See, this is it right here, right? Because I'm getting an X, Y, and Z for rotation. And then that is the center, I believe, right? Off equals new, matrix F, rotate Y, transforming the vectors. I think this is going to be as simple as let's try this. Let's try this. Let me comment this out. And then right in here, generate mesh. Plus 90. This float plus 90F. What is not happy here? Oh. Oop. So everything is facing south right now, except for when you connect it. Disconnect goes back to south. Here, you know what? Just because there was an error there, I didn't catch it. It could have screwed everything up and stopped whatever was trying to flip things, if that was the case. So we gotta, yeah, let's rebuild, then we'll hop back in. I think I'm gonna have to play around to see what combination of things we're gonna have to play around with. Right now we are in the block station. Generate mesh on before render. You know, I could try and do this through on before render. Could try and do it through here as well. See? Now they're not facing, now they're facing east by adding that 90. All right. So what if I go back into, where was it? Here? Was it here? A little further down. There we go. We'll do something like this, right? North, south, east, west. I guess I just have to autocorrect. I guess that's the price I pay for wanting to do fancy stuff, right? The price I gotta pay. We're gonna create a variable. I'll just say y rotation equals 0f. This is gonna be a float, and I'll do it all lowercase. I'll do rotate y. I'll do it like that. We'll copy this, paste, 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 and paste. We will take the rotate Y and we will replace this. So 90 degrees makes it face east. So that should be 90. I believe, south should be 270 and west is 180. Is that it? You know what? I could probably look at Arclight Furnace. So what I say, 90 was east? Oh, you know what? They're probably flipped. Because it looks like east should be 270 and west should be 90. So if west is east, so let's try 270 there. So south could be 0. I just may have to flip these back, and then north should be 180. Oh, stop it. It's upset because of this block. I don't have to do this block. I could just do this, because we are already in the block. Let's give that a try. Asterbrook, holy heck. Got 2 streams in the same month on a streak. Why is it asked backwards? Because it's programming, baby. It's probably, code does exactly what you tell it to. It's probably just an interaction between the system I'm trying to make. I may have something flipped when you're doing a translate and a rotate and a translate. You know what I mean? Could be something like that. It also could be how I'm trying to do a texture swap and all that whole thing in, and how it's interacting with the base game's kind of mesh rendering system too. So let's oops. now they're all facing that way. And actually, look at this one. This guy was facing correctly before. Seems like that's not what I want to be changing, huh? So this would call... the shape. If there's no shape, you return null. Getting the materials. You know what? This is actually not where I want to do this. We're going to cut this out. I don't think this... because I think this is what's running when a connection is made. So just to be sure, right? I'm going to hop in the middle here. I'm just going to break all these back down here. Right? So they're all facing the same way, and if I were to connect that to that, see, now it's facing the right way. So I think this is before the rendering. I have to account for like the original rotation. Let me double check that I don't have anything else in here that I don't need. Unloaded is empty. This is in the block. Let me make sure it's the same way up here. Alright, so that's the internal inventory. Actually, let's go ahead and, before I forget again, max slots. Not what I wanted. Here we go. Let's make this 64. A couple times I've looked at that and I'm like, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. Let's do it now so I don't have to do it later. Alright, I'm not seeing anything extra in there. Good. See, because I think the problem is with this new system, it's not reading this. In the original stuff. It's seeing it once you connect it, right? Because when you connect it, I'm doing an override on the textures. Unfortunately, those textures are also not being shown right now. So there's definitely something. It could be in the renders here. You know what? Let me make sure... Okay, so we have the Ulthomic Workbench. I need to make a new particle profile. That's fine. What about... Right, what's a Thomic Workbench related here? So that's the dialogue, that's the inventory. I'll deal with those later. Same thing. What is this? This is the late initialize of the inventory. Let's go further down. Right, then we just got those. Okay, so there's nothing screwy going on there. Let's look for... Close events, sounds, textures. Okay, let's look at the textures here. So I did have something here where I was setting a rotation. That actually looks like a correct rotation. Do I have to rotate it here? Oh, they all just correct it. They're all like reversed right now. Except for this one, which is correct, right? So this is the only one that's right. Hollywood nerds, impression pushes imaginary glasses up because the coder didn't take into account that the game looks for him from inside the monitor, but he didn't tell it to render mirrored for the sake of the viewer. You see, new mistake. Gosh, yeah. Is that it? Oh, so true. Peered into my soul. At least now it's all uniform. let's put these back down, right? Make sure there's nothing screwy. So my laziness here to just kind of patch this together is to, well, I mean, basically just change these up, right? East, oh wait, east should be 270, west is 90. Right? Is it wrong that I would just have to do the opposite? Because who knows, maybe it's putting this through, I don't know. So, right, this would become 180, this would become 0, this would become 90, and this would become 270, right? Isn't that what it would be? Look at that! And if I were to, let's link this to that. Oh, now it flips backwards! So we got a partially right. Partially right. I can see why I probably disabled this. So I don't want to do it on the mesh here, right? Tessellation. I don't want to do it here. You know what? Kind of curious. Let's re-enable that. I'm curious to see if this plays around with the selection as well. I picked a really dumb thing to try to see if it moves. All right, so we got that. The damn particle's out of my way. Okay, so that did not move. So I think I need to go into where, try it again. Yeah, see, it's the bottom saying, so the collision boxes are all the same. 1 second. Boom. All right. Whoa, here we go. You know, I'm definitely thinking I'm pursuing the wrong thing. I gotta account for this too. The hit boxes here are not updating as well. This is the beginning of this work. Is this a flint plate holder on the facing edge? Nope. So the way this block is going to work is, you know, you're gonna have your furnace. And then you're gonna have you're gonna connect it up, right? And you'll see whatever the textures will change, and then you'll throw items into it. It will suck in the items from the top, and then this part here is going to be something selectable that you can open up to get an inventory of all the output. Right? So you throw in a bunch of stone in here. It's gonna process it down into, like with neutral, it's gonna be enchanted stone, right? If you throw in, I don't know, whatever the prereq is. Maybe it's just an unlit torch. Bam, right? It gives you the mana torch, right? It'll process that. And then you have a chance of getting like primordial fragments as like an extra bonus for using this as well to help offset the cost and need you'll have, you know, getting primordial fragments. So that's what this block is kind of like a processor, right? That's converting your essence and transforming things that you may have, right? That's where you get your essence ash too. You would throw the compound in here, and because it's neutral, you would get the mystic essence ash. So I need to make sure that the facing here is correct. And it was correct and everything was working because it's working here. But I'm trying to introduce the texture swapping system, and I think that's where it's getting a little confused. Because I think with the texture swapping system, it's looking for old shape here, but it's not inheriting, it's not getting this stuff from, you know, from like the rotate Ys by getting the shape. So I'm doing something with shape, I believe, in the block. So let me get rid of this, because I shouldn't be correcting for it in the mesh anyways. I don't need part either. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. So we're trying to find out how I can connect these two very different systems. Because I want this thing to look... There we go. Everything flipped back. I want these to look very different, right? When you connect it to here, the obelisk, I want the textures to change, right? That way it looks like it's made out of, you know, enchanted stone, right? Using the color palettes here, right? Same thing with the light and dark essence ones, right? It's going to have the different particles. You'll look at it and be like, that's cool, right? That's what I'm going for, right? It's like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Look what it did. What's it connected to? Oh, yeah, that's the Devouring Void. So I believe it could be something in here. Thinking. Because I'm getting the shape location here. I'm getting the shape. What if I need to do shape dot... Can't rotate it. And the shape location is just an asset location. Let me see what I have here. See, I got like basic textures. I can walk the elements. But you know what? This isn't exactly where I would be doing everything, right? This isn't exactly it. Let me look at mesh references here. Mesh ref dot. Yeah, see, so that's just, I think, the textures, right? Then I'm converting it to the render info model references. I'll do render info dot. See, I could set rotation overlay, but I don't think that's set rot overlay. I believe that's rotation. Item rendered info. I don't think that's what I want either. So let's go down into the mesh, right? So again, I'm getting a shape. It's probably in here. I'm getting my tessellator. I'm getting the shape. I'm getting the texture source, right? Trying to get this particular shape, I think, from here, but I wasn't able to change anything with shape, right? Shape over here, yeah, it's just the textures, clone. Trying to resolve stuff, yeah, walking things. So it's not shape that we do this in. Tessellator, tessellate shape. You would think that it would be under shape tessellation. Let's see here. Mesh rotate degrees. This shape rotate X. We do it this shape rotate Y. What if I put in static 90? 90F, right? Because it's a float. Oh, cannot be used like a method, duh. I'm an idiot. There we go. Do something like that, right? So let me take a look here. Let me disconnect everything. So everything is now facing north. I set it to 90. I'm not sure if I gotta like place it back down. No, it didn't change much here. Isn't this where I tried to manipulate it before? Are you able to do something akin to get facing, set facing on activation, or is facing on something that applies to blocks? Well, I mean, there is a block facing, but this has to do with rotation, right? You know, I think my big clue here is the fact that here, if I were to remove this system, right? Let's get rid of everything on Gen Mesh. What? Weird. Let's take an update. I don't like that. What we got going on here? Generating the mesh here as well. Okay, so hold on. Let me not get too hasty with what I was about to do. Okay, so we got that. So for the entity, trying to get the value here, getting the block. Block meshes. So this is literally just the texture mapping. Okay. This as well. Do mesh refs. Yeah, because that's just the references, huh? Interesting. There's probably an easy solution. I'm not that adept at this. I'm trying something new. How have you been? Busy enough to kill a bee? Yeah, man. I'm hoping to find, like, the sneaky way to, like, rotate this. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, oh, CAPI, right, render. CGL rotate. I don't want to mess with anything like that. There's something going on. Although I could, okay, so I could do a lazy approach. Do a lazy approach here, guys. What if, instead of doing this, I don't have a furnace output, right? That way there's no side. I could have like equal, you know, upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4 slots on the corners, right? You hear me out, damn it. And rotation won't matter, right? Because it'll be all the same way. You'll never know. You'll never know. Who says that you need to access the inventory from here? If anything, why don't you just click on the top selection that I'm going to get you? Reach your hand back in there and pull crap out. Am I winning anyone over with my my laziness? True, Pavadigan, my man. And you know, I think it would actually look better, right? If it was just like a cylinder with edges. I actually think the texture would look more like the brazier that I was hoping it would be. You know what I mean? Like, I think we may be onto something here. Let me pull up something. Let's work with the model a little bit. Because the upgrades, right? I'm not gonna care about which slot you put an upgrade into, right? It's just gonna look at the slot, and if it happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4 statically, like, you don't need those positional. I would only need a positional if I'm not gonna make it all the same all around. Where's my dumb, stupid, dumb model creator? Dumb. The hell is it? I'm looking. Where is it? Am I in the right phone? Yeah. Don't make me search for it, man. Make me search for my model creator. There it is. Jesus. Oh my god. File open. Normal open. Right? So what if that goes away? That goes away. I can carve this back here. Let's put this as a 6x6, right? Move this back like that. Really should be the base snapping onto this. You know, just because I'll make it 4. There we go. So we'll duplicate that, and this will be 2, and this will be 4. And let's move it here. Whoops. Right, move it here, right? So that could be one of the points. And because I am lazy, I'm just going to delete that. Make sure everything's still center aligned. And we're going to duplicate it. I'm going to spin it 90 degrees. There we go. And then we'll merge that in there. I'll get rid of that. We'll duplicate it again. Spin it 180 degrees. Look at that. It's beautiful. Merge that and merge that. Delete that. And we will delete that and delete that. Boop. Problem solved. And like the Thaumic Forge, you could render something above it to show what you're doing. Maybe, maybe not. Well, what do you mean render something? Well, I mean, yeah, for the Thaumic Foundry, yeah, I have the portal above. But see, the thing is, I don't have a texture swapping system. This doesn't connect to anything. It's a standalone thing, right? So this is just what it looks like. I'm not trying to swap all these textures because you're connecting it to an essence, you know, anything with essence. That's why rotations are all working here. But remember, I also had to do weird rotational stuff here to make sure these lined up. Right? So it's just weird that, you know, like it's just dropping this part here when it's bringing in the base model. And I'm not exactly sure right this second what I would have to surgically go into, you know, to fix that. Right? And that could be as simple as, you know, going into here with like tessellation. And then I saw something with like shape, right? So instead of shape rotate, it could be, see, like I could do like maybe a rotate copy. I think there's like a rotate invert I've seen somewhere else. So let's get rid of that. I don't need that screwing things up. right? But now this would be the furnace, and then you would go in connection mode, bam, right? And then you'll see the flames come up. You'll be able to throw items like directly into it. It would consume those items, and then maybe I could just make it to where you could right click on it, and it would open up the inventory. Got it. Layers of complexity compounded. Add another layer. What could go wrong? Yeah, right. But I kind of like that a little more though. I like that as a model. Like I didn't like the big furnace face, but I'm like, you gotta have an output. You don't need an output. Which also means if I pull out a couple admin stuff here. Probably should, let's get rid of some of those. Do that, that, and that. That is interesting. This sees its connection here. It's not, it sees an error block, so we found our first problem. I forgot to link these onto the other side. So this should send a packet here saying, cut my connection because I was just destroyed. So let me fix that, because that's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to have to do this for the obelisk, the celestial prism, and the devouring void. Here we go. So yeah, the detachment point, unblock broken. I could copy this and paste it in. I don't want to remove completely the Thaumic Workbench profile, because I can repurpose that later. Maybe the Thaumic Workbench becomes something about, it was mentioned today in Discord, potentially having some kind of research thing. So Thaumic Workbench would be a pretty good research bench, like, starter. Thaumic Workbench in the selection here. We're going to replace it with Arclight Furnace. Same thing here. Any lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. There. So now that should send the follow-up cleanup packet. Yeah, and that's the only thing. So in here now, could be able to do a copy. So that was the devouring void. So let's go to the prism here. There we go. Thaumic Workbench. Paste this in. I'm just gonna comment it out like this instead. Kind of like commenting out things like that a little better this way. Well, the obelisk will be the same way. Growth Workbench, comment that out. All right, let me make sure that it's sending the correct disconnect packet now. I break it. Did not. Although, let me try again. Nope. Okay, so it did not send that out. Let's see here. Arclight Furnace. Full resonator disconnect. Yeah, essence provider, then mark dirty. And it would drop its inventory contents. Block removed, so that summons particles as well. Interesting. This should work. This should work. Let me see if this is screwed up. Okay, see, it sent the packet that way. Let's link these two together. Okay, so maybe that was hung up. You know what? Did I replace these all down? I probably didn't, huh? That's why we test here. So 1, 2, 3, right? We'll do that. Kind of spread them out a little bit. Here we go. So if I pop that one to that one, right? We got that flame, and it sees... Whoops. All right, sees a devouring void. This one to this one. Oh, it's not... I gotta fix that. I hate this. I hate this system. Right, that one. See, now it held on to that one. Man, I can't wait for... This item jank is killing me. You know what? Let's get these hightail people in to, like, fix these kind of interactions. Please. You know what? I'm all for it. You sold me. Oh, shit. There we go. I'm gonna have to try and iron that out more. But the different particle profiles, okay. Yep, so those are all correct. Now, if I break this, good. If I place it back, they don't know each other. Break that, good. 0, they don't know each other. And then break that, good. Place it back down. Perfect. Let me see if I can fix this stupid thing. Frustrating. Let's see. Pull up the resonator. Where is it? There's always something. Think about what it did. So this is an int, right, for tool mode. I'm getting it to attributes here. Right, I'm saving it to the attributes. Which means... I'm going to scroll up here. Let me look for this. Target to connect. See, the thing is, I save a block position to it, and it seems to work fine. It's just having a difficult time, like, getting the hint that it needs to be released. So what right here, reset all. So what I do is I make sure to set it to null, and then I'm literally going into the temporary attributes, and I'm removing the connection attribute. And I'm removing just from regular attributes. I'm literally covering all of my bases. I'm marking the item slot dirty after I do that. And then I'm trying to broadcast it back, so just in case there's a hiccup on your hotbar, it knows, like, something changed. I mean, is it marking dirty? Is that, like, when you mark dirty, does it, like, not do things? Let's try this. See, it still had the information for that. Right, so for whatever reason, it held on to this. Which is the Arclight Furnace. And then the Arclight Furnace. So I'm removing the Arclight Furnace attribute. What the hell? What the fuck? This is getting all grumpy. All right, you know what? Let me go to the connections. Let me go to the connections here. How am I saving this connection? Unheld interact start. No. Start step I don't care about. It's stop that I care about. So, getting the mode. I'm literally getting your block position. I'm getting the block selection position. Right, and then I make sure that it's valid, right? So, block position, target to connect. Wait a minute. I think something's about to click. So that's target to connect. Let me try and walk through this here. So you're in connection mode. I get the block based on the position, right? Because I'm going to use that later. And then I try to get the block selection position as well. If block select, yeah, if you don't have a block selected, then I just kind of reset everything. Which I may want to get rid of that. Because that would disconnect everything. So that means if I do that, right, this wouldn't have anything saved. See, this says it's already linked to. Oh, okay. So I guess it was already linked. All right. So if I click out there into the void. That fucking worked. Okay. So that's our key, right? So if you are sneaking, oh, wait a minute. I could leave this in here. That clears all the block safe position when swapping modes. Maybe I could sell this a different way here. Hold on. So if I do this, that would have erased everything, right? So I could cross-connect there, reset, cross-connect there, reset, right? Here, I will cross that one, right? Oh, okay, okay. Reset. Okay, that seems to be working pretty good, except this one just went out. So I killed that connection. Right, so that, then reset. That. So, okay, that would make sense. Oh, I think it was supposed to. I probably, because I'm swapping around, it would make sense that one of these would have been orphaned, right? So reset. See, it seems okay. So yeah, that was light. That was connected to that. So the light is now empty. If I were to reset, I could just toggle this. I'll make the light go over there. Toggle, click, and click. Right, so that seems to be working. But I don't want you to have to sneak to reset this. I remember Dark Essence being more purple and less pink, sips tea. Yeah, Actually, that's the original particles. Been like that since I put in the Thaumic Workbench after the first rewrite. The first rewrite that brought in the Thaumic Workbench. But you got problem with pink? got problem here? What if you know what? Brilliant idea. Go through everything you need to do, and then at the end, reset those positions. And then let me get rid of this, because I don't want you to be sneaking and accidentally click without a block select. You know what I mean? Like no block selected, or I should probably do the same thing here. Get rid of the resets there. Alright, so let's try this. So it killed that connection. Right? Swap it to there. Let's do this to this. Swap the darkness to there. Okay. This. Oh, did you see that though? It put this back to the. Something weird just happened. Hold on. Right, so this to this. This to this. Arclight Furnace. What's this position? Am I like seeing this wrong, or am I just being dumb? Does it look like it's working? See, that one I wanted to assign here, but it didn't get rid of that. Alright, so there's more to this. It's not just me being dumb. Something deeper. It's embedded. Let me cut that out. What if after whatever the mode is? Wait a minute. Hold on. Did something, That's what it, that's my problem. Hold on. Let me undo some stuff. What I wanted to do, it was me being dumb, everyone. What I wanted to do was a complete disconnection. I didn't want to set the target position again. I want to erase that target position. That's what I want to do. Okay. Okay. Ah! Wait a minute. Yeah, so this is now orphaned from that. So there's something weird definitely going on here. I'm going to have to figure this out because this needs to work smooth. This needs to work very smooth. For now, for the scope. Oh, let me get rid of the sneaking stuff here. Let me get rid of this stuff again, because I don't know if that's screwing with anything. But definitely at the end of all of this, you know what? Actually, I don't want to reset it. I don't want to reset it there. I may be running into something where one side, like the client and or server, is like, you know, they're not like talking anymore. It could be more of this item desynchronization that was brought up. Imagine that. Just erase everything. Make sure I hit these two. Just let's clear all connections. I know that works pretty well. Right? So you connect to you. Yes. You connect to you. No, because it just took this guy and then connected, right? Because so you connect to you. You to you. Yeah, see, it's removing these two. You to you. You Ah, see, so it was connected to that. So when it did that, it's just erasing. Yeah, so it's not letting go of the information that it has. It's not letting it go. So let's go into this. Let's go into the obelisk. So I am resetting the block position information here, which is running this, which is setting all the variables to null, like setting them back to null. And then I am literally removing all of the attributes. Unless it's not... Nope. To connect is right there. I am setting it to null. What if I go back into here? I may have to send a packet. RMR references dot logger side, and I will get player dot world dot side. Let's see what the side is here. Like what finally triggers when it gets that deep. All right. That to that. Didn't get there. Oh, wait. This was only to this. Server side. Okay. Well, it's the client side that needs to... Ooh, so at a point, this is only stopping... It's like stopping the client somewhere along the line here. And I am not specifically doing anything with that. All right, y'all. We gotta go. We're gonna find someone to raid. Twitch. Saw the reflection. I'm like, oh, they're home early. There.
I didn't.
There we go. Raid and run. All right. /raid. Here we go. Thank you, everyone. I'll keep figuring this out. I got some homework, right? I'm gonna iron this out. After I do, though, the resonator should be pretty solid, and then I'll look into the texture swapping. And then after that, it's just a matter of using the inventory to actually process items depending on the essence that you put in, right? Mess with some hitboxes, and then this is done. And I think at that point, make some recipes, like finish out the few recipes, and we're ready for a gameplay test. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Adios.